to learn from you, Master Yanqing. Oh, in all those immersions and novels I watched, when apprentices want to pay their respects to their masters, they usually bring fancy gifts, kneel, and bow. Oh, I'm really sorry, but I haven't prepared anything yet. Hey, why are you blushing, Master Yanqing?
This is, the first time someone has called me master. I need to, get used to it. Let me make it clear. Swordplay training is about improving your body, mind, and strength. It's not a casual game you can master overnight. I promised General Huayan that I'd teach you Cloud Knight swordplay, so you can participate in the war dance and defeat at least one opponent. I'll do my best, but if you break your master's rules...
Fine. A promise is a promise. Since I promised to study hard, I'll do my best starting today.
Great! That's the spirit.
March is in your hands now, Yanqing. Don't be too easy on her.
Danheng, do you even have a heart? Did you lose it somewhere? By the way, where's Yunli?
I've found a quiet spot in the back garden of the Palace of Astrum for our first lesson together.
Seriously? It's the first day and you two are already late? Why is everyone on the Luofu so laid back? So disappointing.
Master Yunli, you're already here. Sorry for keeping you waiting.
Oh, wait. Were you trying to teach her in secret? That's sneaky.
I'm just showing you what Luofu etiquette is all about. She might be my apprentice, but it's customary for the master to personally escort their apprentice to the place of learning. As the host, I'll be teaching Miss March the essence of Luofu swordplay, after which she'll emerge victorious in the war dance ring. You won't be complaining about Luofu swordplay then.
Stand aside, rookie. Let me show you how we Zhu-Ming sword masters treat their apprentices. Quickly, over here, Miss March. This is a reverse mentorship gift from me to you. I hope you put it to good use.
What's this? Xianzhou clothing? It's so beautiful!
Sword practice requires precise movements. This outfit is tailored to fit perfectly and allows for smooth movements. I even added some small accessories. I put a lot of thought into it.
You're awesome, Master Yunli!
See? See? How can you compete with me? I'll teach March 7th the essence of Zhu-Ming swordplay so she can win the contest with my sword skills.
Actually, I've prepared something too.
Huh? You have a gift for me too, Master Yanqing?
Since you want to learn swordplay, Miss March, you'll need suitable weapons. So, I went out of my way to prepare a pair of swords overnight. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to ask the craftsman to customize the swords for you, but I did my best to choose ones that look nice and are suitable for a beginner. I hope you like them, Miss March.
Thank you, Master Yanqing!
Bet you didn't see that one coming, did you, Yunli?
The real competition is just getting started.
I'm so lucky to have two great masters. But why does it feel like things are getting a bit weird? What do you think, Masters? Does this outfit suit me?
Perfect. I chose it carefully. It's perfect for beautiful young swordswomen like you and me.
Ahem. All right, let's get started with the training. The person next to me is a Cloud Knight instructor I've brought in. For your first lesson, try exchanging a couple of moves with him.
Wait. We're having actual combat training for the first lesson? Isn't that a bit too intense?
Well, I heard you have some experience with archery and martial arts. The first thing we're going to do is see just how strong your fundamentals are. Come on, step forward and strike with the sword in the most natural way you can think of. It's important for us to grasp your natural movements so we can decide where to start and what you need to learn.
If you're ready, let's begin.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. But please go easy on me.
Then I apologize in advance, Miss March.
Please have some tea.
Pay close attention, Miss March. Lawful swordplay is all about being swift and agile in your movements. Practice is over. Swords descend!
Ignore him. Strength is everything.
Right on time.
Like this?
Well done! Time for swordplay. Blade and flight! How many can you block?
Oh, I get it. With a true hop, I'm starting to get the hang of it.
Strike with heart!
You'll make good practice. Yes, you! Time to show you what I can really do. Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less cards, what's this?
What are you mumbling about?
Isn't this, sword technique? Shouldn't I be saying something cool?
Blade and flight! Practice is over. Swords descend!
Again.
Right on time.
Yeah!
Strike! Strike with heart!
Awesome! You'll make good practice. All right, check out this move.
Yes, you!
Down to earth.
How many can you block? Blade and flight!
I didn't expect the first lesson to be so intense.
Miss March has quick hands and a flexible body. She's a perfect fit for practicing Lawfu swordplay.
However, she lacks strength, and her strikes were a bit unfocused. But don't worry, that's totally normal for beginners. Once she starts practicing Juming swordplay, she'll make heaps of progress.
Given the situation, I believe Miss March should start by working on her footwork.
Strength. Seriously, do you actually know anything about swordplay, or what?
I could ask you the same thing. Dual swords require agility. So what's more important than footwork?
Instead of focusing on her strengths, we should address her weaknesses. The drawback of wielding two swords is not generating enough force. What good is being quick on your feet if you don't have strength? It's not like we're dancing here.
Skilled sword masters know how to play to their strengths and work on their weaknesses. Start with what you're good at, then tackle your weaknesses. That's the right way to learn.
You're quite the theorist, huh?
Theorist? You claim to be able to talk to swords. So what does that make you? A lunatic?
Hey, it's only my first lesson, and you're already arguing. Come on, calm down, masters. I'll have to improve both my footwork and strength anyway, so it doesn't matter which one comes first.
But it does matter. Just listen to me, March 7th.
Aww. Dear Himeko, Mr. Yang, and Pom Pom, we're all good here on the Xianzhou Lafu, so no need to worry. By the way, how's your trip going? As for me, I've somehow become the apprentice to 2 Cloud Knight sword masters, and I've been honing my sword skills with their guidance. One of them is Yanqing, the boy we've all met before. The other is Yun Li, the granddaughter of General Hua Yan from the Xianzhou Juming. Both masters are super strict, giving me a real taste of how hard sword training can be. I tried to drag her into this, but she refused. Then I tried to rope Dan Heng in, but Master Yanqing wouldn't have it. Still, I didn't let the difficulty get to me. In just a few weeks, my sword skills have improved a lot. Both my masters think I have unique talents in swordplay and are literally fighting each other to teach me their skills. Thanks to their guidance, I've actually made some progress. When I get back to the Express, I'll definitely show off my skills and impress you all. Looking forward to your reply. Yours, March 7th.
Well done. Let's call it a day.
Miss March's sword skills are really coming along. She'll hold her own just fine in the war dance.
Perhaps I might have a shot at beating both masters in the ring?
Get real. You've only been practicing for a short while. How could that possibly happen?
With your talent, Miss March, if you dedicate a few more decades to training, you might eventually be able to defeat Yun Li.
Decades? But I'll be an old lady by then. No, no.
Can you believe it? March 7th has actually become a pretty decent sword master in such a short time. Now I understand why Grandpa always had a grin on his face while training me.
Are you sure he wasn't laughing at you?
Oh, shut up.
It's all thanks to your amazing guidance, masters.
Miss March, you're really getting the hang of wielding dual swords. If you're keen on advancing, trying out different Xianzhou blades could improve your touch.
me see. Which sword is the most powerful? Single sword? Great sword? Or maybe a flying sword?
There's no such thing as the most powerful sword. It's all about the skill of the sword master. Yenqing wields several flying swords, while I only wield one. But remember how I kicked his butt at the Alchemy Commission?
First, you didn't kick my butt. Second, you'll never kick my butt. Third, how about we settle this right now and see who kicks whose butt?
Yeah, I'm up for that. And if I kick your butt, you'll drop out of the war dance. Deal?
Why are you two arguing again? I thought things had been improving between you lately.
There was talk that the leading disciples of the Law Fu and Juming generals were supposed to face off in the war dance, but for some reason, they suddenly teamed up to train an apprentice of their own. Turns out the rumors are true. Tomorrow is the big day of the war dance. Shouldn't you two be focusing on honing your skills instead of teaching swordplay here?
You're... Oh, that's right. You're the pink-haired fox from the Yaoqing.
This is Mr. Jiaoqiu, the healer working for the general of the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
Ah, got it. So, you're the participant attending the war dance on behalf of the Yaoqing. And you were trying to sneak a peek at our training?
Sorry for the misunderstanding. I don't know anything about martial arts. I'm just here on the general's orders to take care of some official business. I didn't mean to interrupt your training. I'll be on my way.
If you know nothing about martial arts, why were you smirking earlier?
Well, my curiosity got the better of me, I suppose. When I heard Miss March's pondering about what to learn, I couldn't help but wander over. From my professional experience, cleavers, slicers, chopping knives, and carving knives are all just tools. Kind of like frying, sautéing, boiling, and deep frying in cooking. They're just ways for people to show off their skills. How you use them really depends on the ingredients you're working with. It's like your sword teaching methods. If you align your ingredient, in other words, your apprentice's natural tendencies, with the right cooking method, by which I mean the teaching method that best suits her, she'll make double the progress in half the time. For example, golden eggplant tastes best when fried, cloud peppers when stir-fried, and yellow boulder beef when simmered. It's all about discovering the nature of the ingredients. Apprentice.
All this talk about food is making me hungry.
Aren't you a healer? Why are you talking about food?
Well, it's just a metaphor. The medicinal school I follow on the Xianzhou Yaoqing is called the Ranja School, that specializes in food therapy. So it's only natural that I know a thing or two about cooking.
So, you're the general's cook?
I'm a healer. But anyway, a cook who isn't interested in health doesn't make for a good advisor. Fine. Call me a cook if you want. Seeing the way you're looking at me, it's obvious you think I'm just some feeble academic who likes to blabber on about martial arts. But, in reality, I know a thing or two about killing. After all, The art of healing inherently encompasses both life and death.
Why is this guy suddenly getting all serious with kids?
Do you recognize this bottle of medicine in my hand?
No?
This is called tumble dust, an extract from an exotic flower named Yabra.
Ugh, is it poison?
Well, it depends on how it's used. With just one drop, it's able to numb a patient's body during surgery, making them painless throughout the entire process. However, increase the dose or the potency, and it'll slow the metabolism, making the blood thin and resulting in the loss of all senses. Even long-life species cannot escape its effects. This thing can save lives or take them. It's more powerful than the swords in your hands.
That may be so, but still, I prefer settling things with a sword than, you know.
Looks like I did get you all wrong. You're not a feeble scholar, but a sinister and despicable one.
Hey, why the insults all of a sudden? I'm just sharing some medical knowledge here, not persuading you to poison anyone.
Seems like you get real excited when talking about poison. I can't tell if that's an honorable thing or sinister.
Picture this. 2 individuals. The one standing is full of malice. The other lying down is honorable and righteous. How can the one who's lying down label the one standing as sinister? In the throes of combat, where life and death hinge on a singular moment, every idea fades into nothingness. The only thing that matters is staying alive. Surviving the battlefield reshapes all notions of worth, be it integrity or treachery. In my eyes, their significance is negligible.
Perhaps you've underestimated Yunli and me, Mr. Jiaoqiu. We may be young, but we've seen our fair share of war.
Well, then you should know that the war dance is nothing more than a contest. So why are you so focused on it?
When I was appointed as the ringmaster for the war dance, I asked the general, we Cloud Knights are supposed to charge into the fray and slay enemies. Why do we have to swing swords in a ring just to please an audience? And this is how the general replied. To unsheath your sword in a ring is no different than on the battlefield, as your sword reveals the might of all Cloud Knights. The war dance is the perfect chance to showcase martial virtue and forge alliances from all over the cosmos. When we unsheath the sword without drawing blood, we not only display our might, but also the martial virtue of the Cloud Knights.
That's quite an insightful statement, Yanqing. Well, my apologies for being so short-sighted. I've been on the Luofu for quite some time, but I haven't had the chance to see the ceremony venue for myself yet. Hearing you speak so highly of it has piqued my curiosity. Would you mind showing me around?
You want to see the Sky Splitter ship where the war dance will be held? Let's go! I bet Yunli and Miss March haven't seen it either, right? Well then, I'll give you all a tour. Let's go. I'll give you a tour of the Sky Splitter.
Looks like a lot of other visitors have also come to catch a glimpse of the Sky Splitter.
What's up, Mr. Jiaoqiu?
No, it's nothing.
Do you see that airship in the distance? That's the Sky Splitter, the venue for the war dance ceremony.
It doesn't look all that impressive from this distance.
The Sky Splitter is actually a decommissioned Luofu military vessel. People aren't allowed on board until the war dance officially commences. Tomorrow, when the bell rings and the ceremonial cannons roar, I'll be there representing the Cloud Knights of the Xianzhou Luofu, standing in the ring, ready to take on challengers from all over the cosmos. Since I was a kid, I've been training in swordplay and the art of war under the general. Every day, I'd swing my sword 10,000 times, and then thrust it 10,000 times, repeating the process over and over. I understand that I'm not like other kids. I never envied the toys and freedom they all had. I never found sword practice boring or hard. Even in the thick of battle, facing down savage abominations, I never felt scared. Each day, I could feel myself getting stronger and stronger, and I racked up countless victories. It's the best feeling in the world. But then, I faced a really tough opponent, and just one slash shattered my confidence into 1,000 pieces. That's when I felt true fear for the first time. Maybe that's what Mr. Jiaoqiu meant by life and death hinge on a singular moment. Every idea fades into nothingness. After that, I had to pick up the pieces and try to put myself back together. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't seem to find my old happy self again. I often ask myself, why do I wield my sword? If defeat is inevitable, why do I continue to fight? While the general could teach me the art of swordplay, he couldn't teach me why I should keep on going. He said the reason must come from within myself. I've been struggling to find that reason. But after talking with you, Mr. Jiaoqiu, I think I already have that reason in mind. As a member of the Cloud Knights and the General's apprentice, I've had a weight on my shoulders. And I know there's still more to shoulder. But when I wield my sword, it feels like I'm letting go of everything. I love the feeling of giving it my all, facing any obstacle in front of me, pressing forward. That's why I wield my sword.
Oh, Yanqing. So young, yet so grown up. By the way, how old are you exactly?
Age doesn't really matter. All sword masters will understand how I feel.
I get it. Looks like all the kids on the Luofu live tough lives. So, how about you, Miss Yunli?
It's not polite to ask a girl her age, no matter which Xianzhou ship you're on.
I'm not asking your age. I'm asking if you have a dream like Yanqing has.
You don't talk like a cook. You sound more like a TV host or something.
Need I repeat myself again? I'm a healer.
Well, I don't have a dream like Yanqing does. The only reason I'm participating in the Ringmaster's Challenge is because I made a promise to my grandfather that I'd win the precious sword he's contributed to the war dance.
Sounds like that mind of yours is just filled with swords.
I bet you've got nothing better on your mind. My father was a craftsman on the Xianzhou Juming. Because of his foolishness, many innocent people fell victim to the cursed swords he forged. Since I was a kid, it's been clear to me that not everyone deserves to have a weapon in their hands. Giving them a sword is no different than being cruel to the innocent. So, whenever I come across someone unworthy of a sword, I can't help but want to take it away from them. Given that Yanqing is the war dance ringmaster, I'm stepping up to challenge him. To ensure the precious sword doesn't fall into the hands of an unworthy master.
Hey, what do you mean by an unworthy master?
I see. It's not easy for kids on the Juming either. Well, it's better to have a reason for wielding a sword than to be lost and confused. I've saved countless Cloud Knights in my life, and there are plenty of exceptional warriors, just like the two of you.
What happened, Mr. Zhao Cho?
Oh, nothing. I was just reminded of some old friends and old tales. Judging from my professional perspective as a healer, both of you possess remarkable vitality. Your energies flow like raging fires and mighty gales. The upcoming fight will definitely be impressive. Well, we've seen the Sky Splitter and toured the Stargazer Navalia. I guess it's time to say goodbye for now.
What? You're leaving already? But you haven't asked me about my dreams. I've been working hard too, you know.
It's getting late, Miss March. Unlike you lot, I'm a grown-up bound by responsibilities and duties. The tasks entrusted to me by the General won't complete themselves. By the way, Yanqing, is it normal to have so many people wandering around in an automated area like the Stargazer Navalia?
Actually, this is a restricted area. But since you're all guests, I made an exception, so you could take a look around.
I understand. Well, I'll take my leave. I wish you both the best of luck in the ring tomorrow.
Seriously? I just spent so much time thinking about my dream that he didn't even ask me.
Now that we're done with our tour of the Sky Splitter, shall we continue with our training?
Why don't we take a day off?
What? You want to secretly practice swordplay by yourself? Dream on.
You know cramming before a fight never works out. For some reason, seeing the Sky Splitter has boosted my confidence. So, I've decided to conserve my strength for tomorrow. All right, I'll take you out of the Stargazer Navalia.
Just shut up, Red Fang! This is not a beast ship. I need some time to take care of things. You willingly donned the skin of a lowly beast to join this mission, dedicating yourself to our glorious cause. And now you're telling me you can't handle it? Do you realize how many ships we need? I'm doing my best, all right? It takes time to figure all this out. When the guns go off tomorrow, all eyes will be on it. That'll be our only chance. How's that? Who's there?
Who are you guys?
An impromptu inspection. Why are there outsiders loitering in Stargazer Navalia? And a bunch of kids at that.
Hey, kids, didn't your parents ever tell you to stay away from the Stargazer Navalia? I know it's an automated facility, but it doesn't mean you can just break in and do what you want.
First of all, I'm an adult. Second, I didn't just break in.
Yeah, we flew here on a star skiff. Like, whoosh!
Well, I'm not trying to tell you off, but this place is off limits to the public, you know?
Big sis, let's go. I want to play in Ever Hunt Planes.
Ever hunt planes? Yeah, sure. Big Sis will take you there.
Shuha! You should have let me.
Shh, the overhaul is done, and everything looks good. We should leave.
Could you repeat what you just said, Yenching?
What did I say?
Big sis, let's go. I want to play in Ever Hunt Planes.
Come on. Can't you read the room? Something is definitely off about the three people we just met.
Yeah, anyone could see that. I just wanted to hear you say it again. That pink-haired box tried to say something. I'm pretty sure he sensed something fishy. Since he's not familiar with this place, he just dropped us a hint. But you didn't seem to be paying attention at all.
I knew that from the beginning.
That Cloud Knight didn't recognize Master Yenching at all. That's really weird.
What? Is he famous on the Lavu or something? Not even the Cloud Knights on the Juming, who all know my glorious name, might recognize my face.
You have a point.
A Cloud Knight, a member from the Skyfaring Commission, and a craftsman. They're from various departments, and the reason for the overhaul seems legit. But one of them blurted out some weird language just now. Did you hear that? I have a feeling that if we secretly tail them, we'll definitely catch these guys in the act. Follow my lead, and be careful not to blow our cover.
Never mind who they are. Let's just film them.
We should have just killed those lowly beasts. Those little brats won't take up much space. There are boxes all over this place. Just dump them into one and no one will notice.
Cut the theatrics, Grulock. Even the slightest slip-up could interfere with Lord Moktok's plans.
So where are we heading next?
To check the freight skiffs. We've got a lot of preparations to do. Also, don't forget to take those crates with you. Weapons, supplies. We've got to be well prepared. Otherwise, we're screwed.
So, Are they smugglers? What exactly are they up to?
I have no clue, but they seem to be moving those crates. I've got an idea. We can hide inside the crates and follow them.
Ugh, it's so cramped in here.
I can hardly breathe.
Just hang in there.
Let's just put the cargo here for now, all right? Then we'll move on to inspect the ships. Lord Moktok said that as soon as we're done, we're to board the freight skiff and leave this place.
Don't worry, I've changed the shipping schedule. You two, come with me.
Is it just me? I keep smelling that stench of lowly beasts everywhere we go.
Don't be so paranoid.
Looks like they're planning to escape on the skiffs in Stargazer Navalia. They keep talking about their plans, but where do they come from? And what do they want to do on the Xianzhou?
They're definitely up to something bad. Wait, they disappeared. Let's catch up to them.
Tread softly, breathe quietly, and make sure to keep an eye on them. Hide out of sight as soon as there's any sign of activity.
Don't be so paranoid. We're running out of time. Get over here!
Shuhart, I'm coming!
They're leaving. We should catch up to them, quickly! Up to? They're all wearing official uniforms, but I'm pretty sure they're not members of the Skyfaring Commission, the Artisanship Commission, or the Cloud Knights. This is way too suspicious.
Never mind who they are. Let's just film them. That way, if they do anything bad, we'll have solid evidence against them.
Look at this. A freight star skiff with enough room to fit at least 20 of my men. I'll let the others know and have them prepare more star skiffs. Once we're past the checkpoint, there will be beast ships waiting for us. Lord Moktok is ready. The revival of our ancient bloodline all hinges on this operation.
What did he just say? Beast ships?
Who's there?
It's those brats! I told you to get rid of them, but you didn't listen, you idiot! Wipe them all out!
How is this possible? How did these Foxians change their appearances like that?
They're not Foxians at all. They revealed their true form. They're Borisin, just like the bandits I defeated on the IPC ship.
Wait, that means...
Well, how did the Borisin manage to infiltrate the Xianzhou?
It's not just a simple disguise of wearing our clothing and shaving their whiskers. They're somehow able to alter their appearance to be indistinguishable from Foxians. They even have official IDs for the Skyfaring Commission, the Artisanship Commission, and even the Cloud Knights? Let me check this fake Cloud Knight's tag. Maybe it'll give us some clues. Lujun, an officer of the Patrol Defense Squad? Wait!
What's the matter?
I encountered a patrol officer named Lujun before. It was a few weeks ago, when we were transporting the Borisin prisoners. If they can forge official identities and move around the Xianzhou without raising suspicion... Oh no, this is bad.
Even worse. If you find one cockroach on the Express, it usually means...
There are more Borisin hiding on the Xianzhou. I bet their plan is much bigger than just stealing information. We've got to report this to the Seat of Divine Foresight.
I am glad to finally meet you in person, guests from the Astral Express. I'm Fei Xiao, the General of the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
Let me introduce our guest to you. The one dressed in green.
He's the reincarnation of Imbibitor Lune, and the person behind him is the newest member of the crew. I've heard a lot about you. Outside the reports from the Law Fu, the Skyfaring Commission of the Yaoqing has also gathered plenty of information about both of you. I've been eager to meet you face to face for reasons that I'm sure General Jing Yuan has explained, right? That's right. But don't worry, this isn't a trial. I just want to have a chat with you and get a better understanding of the facts. According to General Jing Yuan's report, the Ruin Legion is to blame for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, and all Arbiter Generals should pay attention to the Ruin Author's movements. Over the years, the Destruction's minions have wreaked havoc on countless worlds, and the Alliance has been keeping an eye on them. But no one expected them to join hands with the remnants of the Abundance. The damage caused by the Ambrosial Arbor crisis was far less severe than expected, which is good news for us. However, it was quite different from the Ruin Legion's usual style of destroying life wherever they go. While I trust the bravery of the Divine Foresight and the Nameless, I'm curious about some details missing from the report. I'd like to take this chance to have an exchange with both of you. Let me be clear. The questions I'll ask might not reflect my actual thoughts. So please don't take offense if any of my questions seem a bit harsh.
Please go ahead, General. But keep in mind we can only answer based on what we know. And perhaps you already have the answers to your questions in your heart.
You have a clever tongue. I like it.
So Merlin's claw is quite articulate. Right now, her intentions are unknown, and Jing Yuan wants us to be honest. Maybe I'll just stick to the facts we know.
Let's cut to the chase. Before the crisis struck, the Astral Express was guided here by a Stellaron hunter, a wanted felon, in an attempt to resolve the Stellaron crisis. However, everyone in the cosmos knows of the Stellaron hunter's reputation. So, why did you place so much trust in them? Could it be that some of you have a connection with them?
Apart from the Law Fu, there are many other worlds suffering from Stellaron corrosion. For example, Urilo 6, the world that the Express stopped at before reaching the Law Fu, was one of them.
To the Express, Stellarons act as roadblocks on the Silver Rail and pose risks to the warping process. And that's why dealing with Stellaron issues is part of the duty of the Nameless.
Ah, I've heard about those problems caused by Stellarons. The Express connects various worlds, so it makes sense for you to take care of this. The cosmos is a mess, and the Trailblazers are just doing their best to fix it. I understand. Let's move on to the next question. The reports suggest that Don Shu, the master of the Disciples of Sanctus Medicus, colluded with the Lord Ravager and used the power of the Stellaron to resurrect the Ambrosial Arbor. But here's the thing. Don Shu was just a chief alchemist. Even if she colluded with our enemies and summoned the Stellaron, how did she manage to bypass the Videodora guards around the Ambrosial Arbor?
I personally met Don Shu once. Her closest friend was killed during the war on the Fanghu, and she harbored deep hatred towards the Hunt. So she spent years making preparations in the Alchemy Commission in order to take revenge on the Xianzhou.
Revenge is also a form of the Hunt. However, that doesn't explain how she managed to bring the Stellaron into the Scale Gorge waterscape, which was guarded by the Videodora.
Well, you should ask Don Shu herself for the answer.
Unfortunately, Don Shu is dead, and even her corpse has crumbled into ash. That's one less clue we can pursue. According to the report, Lord Ravager Fantilia is the mastermind behind the entire conspiracy. She disguised herself as an ambassador of the Skyfaring Commission and traveled with you, only to vanish without a trace later on. It seems too convenient to label her as a scapegoat.
Back then, we were working with Diviner Fu, and she also witnessed Fantilia's true form. You're not going to doubt one of your own people, are you?
Of course not. We can trust the testimony of Master Diviner Fu Xuan. However, even if she saw it with her own eyes, we can't completely rule out the possibility that she might have been deceived. After all, it's suspicious how the culprit just bizarrely vanished. Oh, it seems that your answers have addressed all my questions. Generals, I am finished with my questioning.
So, what do you think, General Fei Shao? Have the doubts in the report been cleared up?
The two Nameless have been honest in their answers. Even though there are some tricky details, my intuition tells me there is nothing wrong. However, the 3 questions I posed earlier were not just for the Nameless, but for you too, General Jing Yuan. First, the disciples of Sanctus Medicus grew uninterrupted on the Law Fu, yet the 6 charioteers were not aware of it. That was a dereliction of duty. Second, you believed in the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy and entrusted outsiders to solve the crisis, even granting them access to the Plague Mark. That was a dereliction of responsibility. Third, you insist on holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, putting the Lawfu back in the spotlight. That is a dereliction of wisdom.
Merlin's Claw. Is this your line of thinking, or the 10 Lords?
From the moment I walked in, I made it clear that the questions I'd ask might not reflect my actual thoughts.
The disciples of Sanctus Medicus were deeply rooted and had been plotting for a long time. I admit it was my negligence for not noticing it earlier. As for the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy, I didn't believe all of it, but in the end, the Law Fu did survive the Ambrosial Arbor crisis. So, I think it's safe to say that Elio's prophecy about the future holds some merit. And as for the war dance, do you think I'm unaware of the risks? However, risks can also be opportunities. The Law Fu has lain low for too long. I believe it's time to stir up the dregs hidden in the depths and wash them away once and for all.
Just as I expected from our sophisticated divine foresight. You have a way with words. I like it. But, unfortunately, ever since the report was submitted, the Alliance has been filled with rumors and speculation. Even within the Law Fu, there are people accusing you of neglecting your duties, resulting in the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection.
So what are your thoughts on all of this, General Fei Shao?
As a fellow Arbiter General, I fully understand the difficulties of this position. Personally, I think all these rumors are meaningless drivel. Across the sea of stars, the divine foresight knows better than anyone else what happened on the Law Fu and the meaning behind it. Just as what happened on the Xianzhou Yaoqing recently.
You mean the Xianzhou Yaoqing is also...
The scouts of the Verdant Knights have sent back reports that Borisin are making trouble again. The Borisin packs that were once divided and scattered have started swallowing each other up, forming larger and larger packs. Moreover, there's an entity named Mongus behind it all.
An entity?
According to the report, this entity isn't actually a Borisin. It's a woman claiming to be the messenger of the Master of Immortality. She's described as having 12 faces and 12 pairs of fangs, as cruel as poison and as elusive as quicksand. The Borisin believe she'll give them a chance to rise again.
That's Ventilia.
That's right. You're lucky that I'm the one who came this time. If it were the Patina Justice or the Seer Strategist, this conversation might not be so friendly. I've always had faith in my instincts, so I don't doubt your good intentions. But the Alliance has its fair share of questions and doubts about the Law Fu. So, my plan is to come up with an acceptable answer to satisfy the Alliance.
What's in this plan, General Fei Shao?
General Jing Yuan, you already know what has to be done. But since you don't want to be the bad guy, I'll take care of it for you. You need the final word from the Ten Lords Commission to quell any doubts. And for that, I'll have to ask the 2 Nameless to visit the Shackling Prison. No, I'm not imprisoning you. While you're there, I'll ask a judge in the 10 Lords Commission's Interrogation Division to record a detailed testimony with the karmic mirror from both of you. We'll fill in the gaps that weren't covered in the report and silence any protests within the Alliance.
I'm okay with that.
Your willingness to help is truly heartwarming, youngsters.
Then, as the Merlin's Claw requests,
Oh, there's one more thing. This testimony is for silencing the voices of opposition within the Alliance, but I would like to urge General Jing Yuan to listen to the pleas of the Foxians on the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
so, you are here for Hule.
Exactly. Hule is locked up in the Luofu's shackling prison. Since he is the broodlord of the Borson, I want to transfer him onto the Xianzhou Yaoqing and imprison him there. The recent movements of the Borson suggest they're planning something big, so we must act preemptively.
It makes sense to have the Foxians keep an eye on their arch-nemesis. Since you trust my judgment, I'll repay that trust. What do you think about all this, General Huayan?
I was worried this would turn into a heated argument, but it seems like both of you are on the same page, solving each other's problems. I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
And as for Hule, I'll send my lieutenants Zhao Chou and Moza to check on his condition in prison and ready him for transport. If there are no more questions, shall we get this started?
I'm really sorry about all this, but the testimony in the shackling prison won't take up much of your time. I'll call for a messenger to take you to the interrogation division. You just need to give your testimony, and then you can head back. So no need to worry.
As you wish, General.
As General Jing Yuan requested, everything is prepared for your arrival, and I am here to receive you. The judges at the Interrogation Division also know your purpose in coming.
The shackling prison. I didn't expect to be back here after all these years.
Dan Heng.
Don't worry about me.
If you're ready, I'll open the gate for you. This is one of many entrances used for temporary access. Since you're not actual prisoners, it makes sense for you to use this entrance. Please come on in, dear guests.
What are you looking at?
The shackling prison on the Luofu is completely different from the one on the Yaoqing. It's completely underwater.
Whether it's in the clouds or underwater, breaking free would still be a piece of cake for me.
Still thinking about your old jailbreak tricks, huh? Forget it. You're free now. Just don't do anything stupid, or the judges will throw you back in there and lock you up for a few hundred years.
You'll see me again in just a few days.
Taking Hule back to the Yaoqing means a lot to the Foxians on the ship, and to the General herself. So stay alert.
Guests, my name is Shui Yi, and I'm here on orders from the Incarceration Division of the Ten Lords Commission.
We're Jiao Cho and Moza. General Fei Xiao sent us to extradite the Borisin criminal Hule to the Yaoqing. We're here to inspect the conditions of his imprisonment and make preparations for the handover and transportation. I assume you've been briefed, Your Honor.
Your visit request has been approved. I'll be your guide for this trip. Prisoner Hule, the warhead and brood lord of the Borisin abominations of abundance and the arch-nemesis of the Foxians, is responsible for 2,123 wars of aggression and countless associated crimes. Due to his heinous acts, he has been imprisoned in the depths of the Shackling prison and subjected to the punishment of the Forest of Swords until the end of time. He shall never be pardoned.
No need to repeat his crimes and sentence, Your Honor. He is the greatest enemy of us Foxians. The stories of his atrocities are used to terrify our children. I'm well aware of every crime he's committed. Let's move on to the next step.
When it comes to visiting criminals, there are rules in place to ensure your safety. I know you've heard legends about Hule since you were children, but your knowledge about him is likely very limited. Only the judges of the Ten Lords Commission truly know what kind of abomination is locked up at the bottom of the Shackling prison. It has been centuries since Jing Liu, the former sword champion of the Luofu, captured Hule. And during all those years, we never provided him with any food. Yet he somehow managed to stay alive. It defies all the documented physical characteristics of the Borisin. The Forest of Swords, forged by the Punishment Division, is a device of intense torment, used to execute sinful abominations. Most Borisin die within 3 days in the forest, but Hule is different. Every time the blades pierce him, his body instantly heals. Despite the brutal punishment, he somehow manages to survive. The complex rules are there because of his abnormal characteristics. Do you understand now?
I apologize for any offense caused. Please continue, Your Honor.
I've given you the instructions regarding Hule's visitation. Please make sure you read them carefully. And please, take this pellet before proceeding.
No, I'm not taking random medicine.
Then you won't be allowed to visit Hule.
Just swallow it already. Hule is like all Borisin. He can release a pheromone called lupatoxin that induces fear. Thousands of years ago, we Foxians were enslaved by the Borisin. Not because we were naturally weaker, but because of their lupatoxin. This pill is for our own mental well-being.
I understand.
I knew you were a reasonable person. Now that we've taken the medicine, let's proceed. Your Honor.
What is it?
No, never mind. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Let's keep moving.
here we are. Her Honor hasn't arrived yet. Please wait a moment.
Welcome, dear guests from the Express. Judge Hanya of the Interrogation Division. We've met before. Glad to meet you again. Please allow me to express my gratitude to you again for subduing the demons in the Fixtral Garden.
Looks like while March 7th and I were clueless, you already made many friends on the Xianzhou Luofu.
Even though you and I have met before, we can't show any favoritism under the Ten Lords. So, please do as I command as we head to Scrivener Hall and beyond. Don't do anything without my permission. This is not a place for ordinary mortals. You and Mr. Danheng, please come with me.
Please lead the way, Your Honor.
Please let me activate the mechanism before we all move forward. And please, watch your steps.
Don't forget to let your friends in on the action.
Freezing.
This place is filled with the cold air from the northern peak of the polar delve. Even the toughest long-life species would have a hard time enduring this. Did you hear something just now? Let me check it out. Ugh, what an eyesore. This place is packed with boxes and crates.
These crates, they look oddly familiar.
A few days ago, the Spiritfarers received reports about an IPC transport ship that was attacked by Borison. Then, a bunch of those abominations were dumped into this place. I had a feeling there would be trouble during the war dance, but throwing both the pirates and the cargo in jail? That's a new one. I heard the Intelligentsia Guild crafted something dangerous. We have many records in the Hall of Karma about these wise ones. They love to tinker with forbidden technologies, always trying to push the limits of ingenia. I caught a glimpse of the mechs in those crates, and they bear a striking resemblance to Borison. I wonder what they're planning this time. Well, business first. Let's keep moving. Strange. I don't remember checking the containment facilities a second time.
Watch out!
Emergency! All wardens prepare for action! Emergency! All wardens prepare for action!
What's happening here? Why are these things moving on their own? Something is wrong. The guards aren't responding. This thing is going wild, just like a Borison.
Looks like we're on our own.
Another journey begins on the still waters of oblivion.
Time for a buzz.
I weep for the departed. It is not fall.
I see through you. I hope for an end to strife, harmony and unison. Tonight, stars echo. All things in the human creations.
Free will.
Converge and awaken. Yin and yang. Yin and yang. This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed. Time for a buzz. All things in the human creations.
Another journey begins.
But how is this even possible? The Spiritfarers follow the protocols, cutting off power to the mechs and sealing the crates. How could these mechs still start moving?
It's just like what happened in the Artisanship Commission before. These goods went haywire and attacked everyone in sight. The Alchemy Commission members examined them and found some unusual structures within. These things showing up in the shackling prison can only mean one thing.
A prison break.
And whoever delivered these goods clearly wanted them to go through the Xianzhou's strict inspection process to show the Skyfaring Commission and Cloud Knights how dangerous they were. They wanted these mechs to end up right here, in the shackling prison.
If these things already started taking action while nobody was paying attention, then the whole prison is in trouble, I'm afraid. And to make things worse, another group of visitors just entered the depths of the shackling prison, the messengers from the Xianzhou Yaoqing. And the prisoner they came to visit might be the target whom these wolf-shaped mechs were delivered here for. If that vicious beast manages to break free, it will be a catastrophe for the Xianzhou Luofu.
Here we are.
Have we arrived already, Your Honor? Shouldn't there be a cage here?
I've given you the diagrams for lighting the lanterns. Please take a look. The path is open. Once we descend to the bottom of the prison, please do not do anything reckless. Inside the delve behind this door is the greatest enemy of the Foxians, Hule. According to custom, envoys from the Yao Qing visit the Xianzhou La Fu once every century to check on this abomination's imprisonment and condition. Even though the Ten Lords Commission sentenced Hule to the Forest of Swords, suffering every day for the rest of his life, I understand that the Yao Qing messengers want to see him dead. Unfortunately, for the past 7 centuries, they've had to return disappointed, because this beast simply can't be killed.
If we can use his toxin to create medicine and save an innocent life, it might help balance out some of the sins he's committed. Could you be the key to a cure for the General, Hule?
And once again, the envoys of the Yao Qing will leave disappointed. However, I won't say the same for me and my brothers.
Who's there?
I'm just a humble counselor of the Rhino Hound Pack. You can call me Mock Talk.
Wardens, intruders on the lowest level! Send reinforcements!
Nobody will hear you here, at the bottom of the shackling prison. Thank you for opening up the prison for us, Your Honor. We'll take it from here.
No wonder I kept smelling that familiar stench. So it wasn't just my imagination. Do your thing, Morsa.
We mustn't let these abominations get any closer! Detestable things. There are too many of them.
Once we were inside the shack.
Resonate all together.
It's just between us.
Time for a buzz. We came together as one. This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed. Right. Stars echo.
I'm honored by your presence. Since you're already here, why not have a meal before?
I suggest you surrender now. Of course, I'll still kill you all. But I promise it'll be swift.
My back. More seasoning.
No matter. It's okay. Yin and yang.
I'm honored by your... Since you're already here, why not have a meal before I leave?
How presumptuous! Die now!
Leave if you can, Morsa.
It's not time yet.
This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed.
How about letting the enemy strike more seasoning?
Harmony and unison. Right. More enemies. Stars echo. Time for a buzz.
It's better to make no move.
All things in this world. Creations.
Emotions. honored, but since you're already here, why not have a meal before you leave?
Guard the gate! They can't be allowed in!
Been a long time, boy. Welcome back.
How many times has the old verdant home spun around since our last hunt? Duran's whelp, tell me your name.
Oh, great Hule, nemesis of the Foxians and the hunter of all beings. I'm Moktok, a humble counselor of the Rhino Hound Pack. I am only one insignificant heir spawned from your bloodline. It's been at least 7 centuries since you led our pack through the hunting grounds of the stars. I'm thrilled to see that you are as cunning and skillful as ever.
7 centuries. 7 centuries have passed. But why have Duran's whelps grown to look like this? Tell me, Moktok, why have you grown to resemble our most despicable slaves and enemies, the Foxians?
I've been commanded to release you from this cursed prison. It is Senjaya's will. That's why I had to take a magic pill, don the skin of a lowly beast.
Since you have an escape plan, tell me, what's our next move to get off of this ridiculously large ship?
My brothers and I will lock down this prison, trapping the prison guards inside. This will buy us some time. The rest of my crew, who are undercover like me, will secure the vessels for our escape. According to the plan, we only have a tight 2-hour window to get out of here. Originally, I intended to carry out the plan tomorrow, but they're planning to transfer you to the Xianzhou Yaoqing now. So I seized this opportunity to set you free.
What a reckless plan, you idiot! Even if we manage to get the ships, our chances of escaping are slimmer than a Foxian slipping through my claws!
But we have no other choice. The angel serving under the Master of Immortality sent me with a message. Only your return will end the prolonged divisions among the Borisin. Every one of my crew is ready to lay down their lives if it means setting you free.
A sneaky weakling like you is actually showing some reckless bravery with this plan. Fine. You'll get what you want. And all of Duran's whelps will too.
Well then, my lord, we should leave now.
Before we go, give me one of those magic pills.
My lord, will you seriously want to don the skin of a lowly beast? That would be a disgrace to your greatness, my lord.
You idiot. Greatness means nothing without freedom. Once I get out, I'll need a disguise that won't raise any suspicion.
As you wish, my lord.
Is that Foxian slave my meal?
No, he's an envoy from the Xianzhou Yaoqing. I plead you to endure him a bit, my lord, as he's more valuable as a hostage. Take him, guys! Time to move out!
Madam Hanya, the wardens in all areas are regrouping. Those Ingenium enemies are wandering around and causing heavy casualties. And to make things worse, those iron wolves broke open the cages and let the criminals out. We've called for backup, but it seems like all communication is jammed.
Let's preserve our strength and first take down the isolated prisoners. By decree of the 10 Lords, all prison breakers and intruders shall be apprehended, dead or alive.
Just a short time ago, the nether key mechanism was activated. It was probably Madame Shui and the Yaoqing messengers, heading to the bottom of the prison. Given the situation, I'm afraid that area is exactly where our enemies are targeting.
We mustn't let that vile beast escape from its cage.
We've gathered all the prison guards who can still fight, and we'll split up and secure each floor.
Go!
Those intruders are quite bold. They must have been planning this for quite a while.
Indeed, but Borisin tend to favor direct and aggressive approaches. Crafting careful and precise plans like this is simply not their style. Let's focus on the current situation right now. Please help me.
What's the fastest way to the bottom of this prison, Miss Hanya? If we don't get there quickly, we'll soon be outnumbered by all the enemies inside.
We'll have to bend the rules. Please, follow me.
Prisoners must remain in place and obey the
By decree of the 10 Lords, all prison breakers and intruders shall be apprehended, dead or alive.
Yes, ma'am!
Hold your position here.
Yes, ma'am.
We need a few tools if we want to reach the bottom quickly. Follow me to the next floor. The path is cut off. Someone must have altered the mechanism. No matter. It'll just require a bit more work to get through. Some Spiritfarers occasionally use ingenia from the Artisanship Commission to navigate the treacherous terrain here. Normally, using devices like the shifting screen is strictly forbidden, as they could help prisoners escape. But, given the urgency of the situation, let's just ignore the usual regulations. The nether key has been activated. I hope we're not too late. Hang in there, sister.
Looks like there was a fierce battle here not long ago.
The gate to the prison delve is wide open. Hule has managed to break free. Where are the Yaoqing messengers? And where's my sister? Are they still alive?
Let's look around. Maybe we'll find some clues.
Shui Yi is here.
Miss Shui Yi briefly sacrificed herself. My condolences, Miss Hanya.
Condolences? Well, that's unnecessary. You misunderstand. Thanks to the Ten Lords' blessing, my sister turned into an Ingenium centuries ago. Dying and returning as just a soul to the Hall of Karma's document office has become a routine for her. While I'm not keen on seeing her throw away her body like it's some replaceable part, but... By the way, have you seen bodies that might be the Yaoqing messengers? One of them is a Foxian wearing exquisite clothes, and the other wears a dark cloak, like a fugitive.
No. I haven't found any Foxian bodies. Only Borisin ones.
So, the intruders and Hule are holding the Yaoqing messengers hostage. This is the worst situation. With hostages in their grasp, the prison guards can't do anything about the prisoners. If anything happens to the messengers, the relationship between the Yaoqing and the Luofu could be irreversibly damaged. We must rescue the messengers, get out of here, and spread the news. We mustn't give up as long as there's a glimmer of hope.
What have you found, Miss Hanya?
Reconstruct.
It's my sister. Looks like her soul hasn't returned to the Hall of Karma yet. At such a critical moment, her death can give us information that we can turn into an advantage. Let me see. The damage isn't too bad. If I can fix it up, my sister will have a temporary body.
Hanya, I'm back.
Welcome back, sister. I don't know what kind of expression I should have at a time like this. Happy? Tears of joy? Forget it. I'm used to you coming back in all sorts of forms.
Now is not the time for jokes. This side crane can't hold all of me.
Sister, what did you see when you were killed?
One of the Yaoqing messengers escaped, and the other one was taken hostage and brought upwards?
Besides the Borisin, There were other intruders. Invisible.
Invisible intruders? What does that even mean? How many conspiracies are tangled up in this mess? Do me a favor, sister. The intruders have cut off all communication between inside and outside the prison. And now you're the only person, the only bird, who can slip out undetected. Make sure you deliver the news to the outside world.
I understand. Please be careful, sister. You are different from me.
Time is running out, Miss Hanya. If we keep delaying, those Borisin will escape from the prison.
All right. If we happen to come across that Yaoqing messenger who got away... No. Stopping Hule should probably be our top priority.
Wait! Something feels off. Something's approaching us.
The invisible intruders?
Watch your back!
These abominations aren't prisoners from this prison.
Free will, or was it fate destined for oblivion?
Time for a buzz.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Resonate all together. More enemies. Time for a buzz. Listen to the final song of life. This is double speed.
The prison management on the Lawfu is truly concerning.
Who are you?
Aren't you looking for me?
Go for an anti-strike. Can I have fun this time? Doors echo. Time for a buzz. Came together.
Another journey begins. Destined for oblivion.
Yin and yang.
How familiar. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Just focus on the fight.
All things in human creations.
Immortality means forever.
Free will, or was it fate? On the still waters of oblivion.
More enemies. A quick divination. Together as one. Yin and yang.
A miracle.
Destined for oblivion.
This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed. Can I have fun this time? May song bring us victory. Resonate all together. All things in the human creations.
I weep for the departed. too shall fall. Another journey begins on the still waters of oblivion.
It's okay. It's okay. Morin. Night. Stars echo.
Free will, or was it destined for oblivion?
Time for a buzz. This combat needs. This is double speed.
Another blood debt repaid.
The prison management on the Lawfu is truly concerning. So what if I repeat it? It's the truth after all. The prison management on the Lawfu is truly concerning. At least 2 different groups of intruders infiltrated here. The wolf cubs and these Mara-struck soldiers. Their hiding technique, it's pretty similar to the wind mantle technique used by the Vidyadhara serving Kailorum Venti on the Yaoqing. What do you think? Well, never mind if you don't have any clues. Now is not the time to exchange assassination techniques. I'm Waza. My friend fell into the clutches of that wolf. I was planning to escape and report back as quickly as possible. But now it seems... the prison on the Lawfu is a real maze, I must admit.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Moza. We'll do our best to ensure your friend's safety.
No. You can do nothing for him now. And you shouldn't be focusing on his safety at the moment.
Your friend is in Hulei's clutches and you're just going to leave him behind?
Look, I'm the Yaoqing General's guard, not his. I've seen how that giant wolf fights, and there's no way. Trying to save my friend will only get us killed. I don't know how you think, but I won't throw my life away for a lost cause. Listen up. I've been tracking these fugitives, and I know their next move. They're planning to seal off the entire prison to keep the outside world in the dark. The worst case scenario, we are all killed by that giant wolf, and the shackling prison is sealed off. No one will know about us or about their escape until it's too late. And the best case scenario... No, we won't be able to. We're one step behind them. The best case scenario would be we seal the gates and trap the enemy inside with us. We can't let that monstrous wolf escape. Hopefully, someone will eventually notice that something is off and come to help. As for whether we'll still be alive by then, it's not something we should think about.
You sure have a way of comforting people, Mr. Moza.
As a person of the Yaoqing, I've always searched for something meaningful to give my life to.
I have to make it out alive. My companions are waiting for me.
As a netherworld dweller, I've already died once.
Yeah. We won't give up. Not until the very last moment.
None of you are part of the Ten Lords' commission, so sacrificing yourselves isn't the right move. As a judge, it's my responsibility to guard this prison, and if someone should step up to stop Hulei from escaping, it should be me, not you. Once we reach the gate, I hope you'll help me seal it. After that, I'll do everything I can to fight the Borisin. And you find a safe place to hide and wait for reinforcements. Now, let's proceed upward. We must seal the entrance before the Borisan fugitives get out. The prison wardens and mechanisms won't be able to hold them for long. Follow me. We're almost there. The gate is just ahead.
Stream 4.
The fugitives are charging at the...
I will hold them back. Don't let Hule escape.
Another blood debt repaid.
Stream 4.
The gleam of old blades.
This brings back such familiar memories. Memories of chasing, gnawing, and tearing. Oh, they're back. They're back. They've all come back.
My lord, we're just one step away from freedom. As we pass through the gate, no one will be able to stop us.
So this hostage is useless now. Kill him, Moktok.
He's getting away. Do something, Jiao Cho. It's just like the old days, you useless loser. Just do something!
Maybe this Yao Qing messenger can strike a deal in exchange for his life. He can use his status to help us escape from the Xianzhou. What do you think, Mr. Jiao Zhou?
Oh, just look at you. Fallen so low during my absence. You're even negotiating with livestock. As far as I recall, no one from the Yao Qing would ever consider a deal with Duran's offspring.
I've got to make this beast stay here, whether it's for the sake of Fei Xiao or the Yao Qing. Deal. I certainly have more value alive. My identity, my knowledge of the Xianzhou, and my understanding of many things that your minions have no knowledge of. They'll all be valuable.
Lowly beast. Muster up that pitiful tongue of yours and plead for what remains of your life. Speak up.
I'm afraid you're unaware. The woman who defeated you, Jing Liu, she has recently returned to the Luofu. Your opportunity for revenge is right in front of you.
My lord, this slave is talking nonsense. I've never heard anything about this. May I just kill him now?
Silence, Moktok. And you, slave. From now on, you'll stay by my side. You'll only speak and move when I allow you to. Otherwise, I'll dismember you from head to tail, inch by inch. Got it?
But my lord...
We must stay here for some time, Moktok. Fear not. Because once I step out of the prison, it's the people of the Xianzhou who should tremble in fear. I'll show them what true calamity means. Now, Duran's whelps, follow me!
Prison guards! Stop them! For our great Lord Gulay!
Prisoners must remain in place and obey the guard. Those who fail to comply will face severe punishment, serving as an example to others.
Report! After we lost contact with the Shackling prison, we received a message from a Psycrane. The prisoners have revolted, and the criminal Hule is nowhere to be found!
What about the Yaoqing messengers and the Nameless?
No news at the moment. We're trying to restore contact with the Shackling prison as soon as possible.
I see. You're dismissed. General Jing Yuan, General Hua Yan. It's just as we suspected. The rise of the Ambrosial Arbor was not the end of things, but the beginning. The hand of the Ruin Legion has already sown the seeds of destruction. From this moment on, the Xianzhou Alliance will face an even greater challenge, from both the abominations of abundance and the destruction itself. If this is what they want, I'm always up for a challenge. As the Marshal Special Envoy, I'll dispatch the Lawfu Cloud Knights to pursue Hule myself.
Looks like the hidden dregs have finally come to the surface. And as I said before, it's time to wash them away, once and for all.
Haven of memories. Every touch, every moment is like a thorned rose.